Hey there, chart friends. Lamont here from JKS, checking in on the solar sector, that ETF. Okay, so let me. Yes, I am currently stitching two videos together, putting a lot of stress on the computer, and now also recording this. It's so loud right now. I hope this doesn't lock up on me. Thank you so much, computer. I appreciate you. Okay, let's see here. So Tan, on the back of that Georgia runoff news, Democrats, whatever in the Senate, hooray, clean energy, gapped up, but sold off into the end of the day, and so we ended with a little indecision doji. And I don't know, whenever I get an indecision doji like right outside of a trend line, it's just kind of questionable. And I know that this channel is actually drawn off of the support, and there's not actually yet a confirmed trend line up here. We've just assumed that we would get a positive reaction. So that makes me even less inclined to have faith in that. So let's see. Oh, you can see the, look at that, right? So then you draw the actual trend line, and there you have it. So I guess that, it just makes a little bit more sense, right? Anyway, so what are we looking out for here? We are looking for the potential of the hourly trend change now. If we, let's see, the hourly RSI, oh my goodness, my computer's lagging so much. There we go. So the daily is torqued. I don't think 10 is not an all-time high, I don't believe. It is not an all-time high, although it is clearing this consolidation pattern, which is incredibly bullish. But the R1 for the year is right up here at 132.10, so would not be surprised if we were to see some consolidation soon, right? Because to break out of this range is one thing. To break out of it with fall through is another. So if we run into a little bit of selling and then come back into this range here, I would not be surprised if we just start chopping around, right? So if we re-enter this, we're likely going to see some shelf action here. Just think about how hard this name has run up, right? So and you kind of have this down here, right? You have this other structure down here where you can pretty much see it as a rectangle. Okay, whatever. You see what I'm saying? There should there's a. Oh, well, it's bothering me too much. I have to gotta do it properly. It's worth doing well. Right. So we're not an all-time high bull here, and our monthly RSI is torqued. Our weekly is also torqued. We're printing a perfect 9 right now on the week. There's a potential for this to be a reversal 9, right? If we see a blow off top, this could we could pop up, test this R1 tomorrow, and then sell off to make a pretty not so good looking weekly candle, right? And we've also got the 13 on the dailies. A lot of signals potentially lining up that maybe things are getting a bit extended, right? So our daily RSI is of course also extended. Hourly is going to be as well, right? No, actually we're good here. We have some RSI divergence though on the hourly time frame where price made a higher high, but RSI made a lower high here, right? Price made a higher high here compared to that high. RSI made a lower high compared to that high, right? Okay. So we are looking for the potential of maybe another push up before exhaustion. I don't know. Either way, we're being mindful that daily consolidation is going to come eventually. And when the bears are able to take the hourly trend, we'll just be looking for a healthy higher low over 97.64. Where we will be looking, we will probably be looking. Oops. We will probably be looking somewhere in the hourly oversold, maybe into the shelf. So it's all the way down there. There's really no sign of that yet. We're just being mindful for now of the hourly trend, which is still bullish. The last hourly higher low was here at 113.61. There's potentially another one being set here at 122.62. In order for that to be the case, the bulls need to show up and defend this low and break to higher highs over 123.41. Would not be surprised by like a gap, right? They closed the day very strong. I'm sorry, the other clean energy names closed very strong, like Tesla. And so I wouldn't be, and plug, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a little bit more euphoria for, one of those blow off top kind of tops. Like whenever you have all these days in a row with quite a bit of range, then typically you get blow off top. This one, not so much as Tesla. Tesla is like, if you're not watching these, it's much more extreme. 11 days, 10 days, excuse me. What the heck was I doing? Oh yeah. All right, so JKS, not gonna, seeming like we won't get this lower trade for now. But I mean, if you took that trade with me regarding here, then now JKS has definitely given you opportunity to take profit. I forget where those levels were. I believe I moved that one down Yeah, I moved, that was silly. I moved that one down there, so I don't remember what it was, but you know, certainly at this point now you've gotten the um ability to chop. It was this one, right? So we had one fill up here, didn't get that fill, and then missed that third fill. Or I think it may have originally been higher and I adjusted it lower. Either way, at this point, if you've not taken profit on this, you know, definitely consider it, because we're up here on these highs here. These are all hourly pivots as well as daily pivots, right? And we're looking for a daily lower high with anything under 85.32 being one. I'll kill this. This was just that hourly wedge before I ditch it. It's just this hourly wedge, right? So whenever you're looking for that daily higher low, if you can get a nice wedge structure going, it's very helpful. Today I took a trade on AI using this very similar concept. All right, so let's see here. Or bears are looking at top fish this level here. There's potential. I'm not terribly confident in this channel structure up top because we don't have a lot of hits, even though the channel does seem to be affirmed based on the reaction to the median line and the standard deviation band. Just because I don't have a lot of price action here, I don't have a lot of confidence in it. I care more about these price action levels here. So we know that we have R1 for the week is up here, and the stops on the regarding price action, and we know that if we were to get pushed up there, at the hourly would start to become a little bit extreme, right? I don't love that we're consolidating on here down here, so maybe we'll want to be a bit more conservative with our levels. Make sure that we have hourly extension when we start scaling in, and we're also being mindful that this is a macro bull flag potentially, right? But that being said, doesn't mean we can't come down here, right, and just fill out a little bit more. ADMA is very far away, but ideally the bulls just go sideways. We've also not tested the pivot for the year yet, and it's, you know, very often a level that gets tested, so something to be mindful of. This is not out of the question. Coming down here to test these lows is not out of the question, right? And if we do get a rejection from here to print a lower high, then that would just make it even more likely that we just get a rush down, and then maybe this trade will present itself. Okay, this trade down here I rather like. I would love this. I feel like this would be a gift. If we could get like hourly, 4-hour daily extension down here, oh my goodness, that'd be a good place in my opinion. What run is broken over this channel? Very nice. So I think we just extended it too. So it just continues to see a higher highs. I don't even think I'm going to. Well, yeah, I'm not even gonna run that. Let's just use pure price action now because I believe we're an all-time high. Yeah, we're an all-time high, and there's just well, I guess this one right here. Watch this. Let's just start using some trend lines. All right, so we'll watch that. Weekly chart's very healthy. All right, so anyway, on the daily, we are seeing daily higher highs sold off towards the end of the day. We'll be mindful of this trend line here. This is a blue sky bull, so we don't really care as much about RSI as we normally would. So the daily being oversold, I don't even think it's terribly high yet. Even if we look back in history, you know, the RSI has gotten to pretty extreme places before. Just as a rough idea, would drop that line as a guide, that line, and then one more extreme line, right? This is typically how I like to do it. I would draw out like 3 levels roughly equidistant from each other to give myself a gauge of historical RSI rejections, right? So now I know it's time to pay attention, right? If you want to get aggressive, you're looking for a short. As we get higher and higher into those RSI levels, you just want to be more mindful of the likelihood of a short presenting itself more and more, right? So as we get approach up here, then I guess if you're an aggressive short, I don't hate it, but you might want to be patient instead of scaling in, right? You might want to wait for like an hourly move that's large enough to anticipate an hourly lower high, and then in that way, you know, at least you have a level to play off of. You know, scaling in into no resistance blue sky bull is very aggressive, just letting you know. I'm just setting it up just to eyeball it, right? You can look for that potential hourly move to happen in here, right? So let's say you have a zone of interest here. All right, so let's kill this. Let's say you have a zone of interest here, and then you're interested in the hourly time frame. As it approaches in here, if you see a sharp move in there, because you already were anticipating that it might play out there, you're already primed to make that move. You see what I'm saying? So if you mark off your zone of interest first, and then you see like a big old hourly downtrend, hourly move down, then, you know, you can position for an hourly lower high. All right, so, you know, it's like visualization, almost planning ahead, right? Anyway, so we're just watching this hourly trend for a run. Last hourly higher low was here at 82.82. Anything over that will be another one. And there's just you know, full control, bulls full control. No bears in sight yet. Alrighty, let's see here. For FSLR. Okay, so FSLR, we are watching this potential trend line here, the median line on this channel. The channel has been really good, so I'm much more confident in this channel than I am in whatever that other one was, run or whatever. So let's see here. We don't need this. I don't hate it. I don't hate this short up here. So you have a lot of confluence here. You have this trend line resistance. You have this median line. You have the R1, I think, starting, and you have this all-time high resistance, right? And you know that that a lot of clean energy names are kind of getting frothy, so potentially looking for some daily consolidation. Let's see. So if we were to get extension into there, yeah, I don't hate it. Just, you know, again, respect your stop losses, and the safer thing to do again would be to wait for price to come up into this area and then wait for a big hourly move down so that you can position for an hourly lower high, scale in into this hourly lower high here, just like that. All right, so here, let me like this. If this were to present itself, this is really what you want to be looking out for, right? This area here. Okay. So that being said, if the bears are able to take that, if the bears are able to take the hourly trend, bulls will be scouting a daily higher low with anything over 91.30 being one. And if they're able to take the trend, I'll set up that daily higher low play tomorrow or whenever it presents itself. Who knows? Maybe they just keep ripping higher. And finally, ICLN, I clean. No real change, right? I don't care. I'm not gonna chase this up here, right? We're pulling very far away from the 80 MA. I know that there's no volume traded up here. This is a blue sky bull. Yes, this is good volume on this leg, but you know, it's not a great location to be looking, at least to swing long. Momentum trader is fine, but you know, it's getting to the point where I wouldn't even want to swing overnight. I don't think, even if I had good position on the day, because you know, it could just be one of those super gap down days. Who knows? You know, whenever you have action like this that just gets vertical, right? It goes parabolic. You have to be careful for that swift pullback. Okay, so it just went 20% in 6 days, essentially one trading week. It went 20%. So you know, when it pulls back, it's likely to be swift, and where we're interested still is going to be where the hourly gets extended and into this area where there was at least a little bit of volume. You know, I would anticipate to be at least a short-term bounce if we were to come down and test these levels, especially if we were to waterfall down. So I'm still interested in just this for ICLN. All right, ideally we'll get up here. It'd be great if, something like this. The range is already getting a bit large, you know, but if we could come down and test the hourly TD, maybe we just cover the pivot and yeah, something like that. All right, so this could theoretically be I think it'll be likely a good, at least first hourly oversold bounce should be pretty good. So yeah, I would be comfortable scaling in as soon as the hourly starts getting oversold. Otherwise, nah. I just want this daily higher low for ICL, and that's all I care about. That's the only play that I want. Alrighty, I think that. Oh, what? NKLA? Get out of here. Alright. Anyway, that about covers it. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you all soon.